If you're looking for a smart access control reader that does it all, you need to check out the ZKTeco VG10CKQ. The all-in-one multi-tech smart reader that's perfect for any access control setup. What's up, installers? This is Zach with Nelly Security, and today we're covering all of the features that make this powerhouse one of the best RFID readers on the market. Stick around as we cover everything from credentials to durability to installation. Let's go. So what exactly is the VG10CKQ? Well, it's one of ZKTeco's Vanguard series compact multi-sensor readers. This single device does the work of multiple kinds of readers. It has a keypad, built-in card reader, QR code scanner, and Bluetooth and NFC compatibility, all in a sleek stainless steel build. So let's talk more about these credentials. The VG10CKQ supports a ton of different RFID card types, which means it's compatible with virtually any system that you have installed, whether it's 125 kilohertz proximity cards or the 13.56 megahertz NFC smart cards. You can also open doors with your smartphone. Because of that built-in Bluetooth and NFC support, employees can use their Android devices to unlock doors with their phone. The integrated QR code scanner supports one-dimensional and two-dimensional code reading. One-dimensional codes like your codes 128 is going to be like a barcode, and that two-dimensional code is like a QR code. This reader supports regular and micro QR codes, perfect for visitor management or temporary access. For those that prefer the classic approach, there's a built-in customizable keypad, perfect for PIN-based authentication. Simple and reliable. Now, here's the thing about access control readers. They spend their entire lives on the front lines. They're almost always outside, they're exposed to weather, temperature swings, dust, debris, and even just physical presses or scratches. That's why ZKTeco engineered the VG10CKQ with this stainless steel body, providing strength and durability. Plus, because it's stainless steel, it has exceptional resistance to corrosion and oxidation. So whether you're installing this in a coastal region with salt spray, or some kind of medical facility, or a place where chemicals are being moved around a lot, this is going to stand the test of time. This reader carries an IP66 rating. It's also rated IK07 for that physical and environmental protection aspect. So let's talk about security. That is why we're here. The VG10CKQ is built to withstand advanced attacks. According to their spec sheet, it can protect against DPA attacks, differential power analysis, EMA attacks, electromagnetic analysis, and DEMA attacks, differential electromagnetic analysis. These are sophisticated techniques that attackers can attempt to use to compromise readers, and this reader can withstand all of those. And with a magnetic tamper switch detection system, you can be sure that the physical side of attacking is also covered. So here are a few more technical specs that are going to be helpful to know. This reader works for mullion mounting or wall mounting. You get a mounting plate, template, and all the hardware you need. Even a screwdriver is included. For communication, this connects either via RS485 OSDP or Weekend protocol. The QR code camera is a 640 by 480 pixel array. It has a horizontal view of 68 degrees and a vertical of 51 degrees. A fun little feature on the side is that you can actually customize the LED lights. You can indicate levels of access control or adjust the lights to have a design that matches the company's aesthetic. And this can all be done through the Armatura Connect mobile app. So we're about to jump into the wiring and setup portion, but just before we jump into that, I do want to mention our dealer program. It's completely free to join, and you get a ton of great benefits like lifetime tech support, free branding, and exclusive pricing. We've also just released the new Dealer Vault. This is an incredible resource for dealers. It's also completely free, and it's where we post a bunch of helpful tools and exclusive videos for all of our dealers. You're also able to request to see specific things that we upload there as well. So if you find something that's close to what you're looking for, but maybe you need a walkthrough for a different camera or a different NVR, whatever you need, you can request that and we'll put it up at the Dealer Vault. So check the link in the description below or go to our website and click on that Dealer Vault tab. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into installation and wiring. Zach from the future here. Before we get into the wiring setup, I need to give you a little bit of information about what was happening behind the scenes. When we first went through the quick guide, we completely missed the part where there was a range of voltage this device could operate on. So we only saw that upper end, which was 24 volts. So what you'll see in this section is an Altronics panel that is set up for running 24 volt power to external devices. We set all this up and walked through how to splice it, and you don't need that. This device can work on as low as 9 volts, so you can plug in that red wire directly into the Atlas panel and you'll have no issues. So I'll briefly walk you through the regular setup and how you can get this wired for 12 volt power instead of that 24 volt. Nothing else is going to change about this portion. It's just that 24 volt for the reader can be 12 volts instead if you need. All right, so here's the new setup from the future with 12 volt wiring. And from the quick start guide, we know the red wire and the black wire are going to be your positive and negative. The green is data 0 and the white is data 1. So the red goes into the 12 volt, the black goes into the ground, the green goes into data 0 and the white goes into data 1. So I'm gonna get that wired up. So those 4 wires are plugged in. I'm gonna get just a little bit more distance. Let's go ahead and plug this in. This panel is PoE, which is nice. There we go. It is all powered up. Let's go ahead and jump over to the request to exit button first, and then we'll go to the door lock. So for the request to exit button, you've got 3 wires coming from it, and it tells you right here, at least on this model, which wire is which. So the white is normal close, the green is normally open, and the yellow is the common. So very briefly, here's what that means. When a circuit is closed, power is running through it. When a circuit is open, power is not running through it. In its default state, the common rests on normal close until the button is pressed. The panel then triggers the relay to move to open. It'll stay like this for a bit, and then it'll return to its normally closed state. So we'll have the green and the yellow running toward the button and ground in lock 1. So on the other side here, I've actually removed some of these ports on lock 3. So that way you can see what this actually looks like. So it's normal closed, then common, then normal open, then sensor, ground, and button. So we're going to use the button and the ground on the bottom there for this request to exit button. So for wiring the door strike, we're going to use normal close and common. So that way we have a normally closed circuit. The strike will react to this relay, switching to normal open. So this door strike is a 12 volt device, and it will need its own separate source. We've got the 12 volt power cable here and the door strike here. So how we'll set this up is the red wires from each will be spliced together, and then each of these black wires will run toward the panel itself. So we want this circuit in a normally closed state. The door lock always needs power running to it. When that power is interrupted, that's when it unlocks. So because of that, we're gonna have one black wire running into the normal closed port and the other running into the common port. Because again, we do need that to be able to switch back and forth between close and open, and that's where common comes into play. So I'm gonna get these wired up real quick and we'll do a little test. Make sure that the panel itself is also powered. I forgot about that. So you can see that the door strike is not pressing down. Let's go ahead and press this button here. There we go. And then we can hear that it locks up again. And let's try one other thing here. It is locked. We're gonna go ahead and scan this card here that's already set up for me. And we see that it's now unlocked. There's the basics of wiring, hopefully simplified a little bit. And of course, I just have to reiterate at the end here, make sure that you have all the proper protection from live wires touching each other. Make sure you've got wires long enough to run through the walls to get to wherever these readers and these door locks need to be. But in terms of the basic structure and how these wires relate to each other, this is generally what you want to be aiming for. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions, let us know down in the comments below or give our tech team a call. We're always happy to help. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.